Hello, hello, and welcome to Fast Track to Fearless with me, Tracy Forsyth. So, one of the sets of people that I work with as a coach are people who have had the big career and are thinking about how do they best put their experience and then their expertise into something different that is particularly meaningful to them. So at that stage, I think, that feeling is about giving back. How do I make a difference? How do I make a positive impact? How do I use all the stuff I've got in service of something bigger and greater? And I think sometimes that period post big career is called the legacy the legacy era, and the questions are sort of like, what do you want to leave behind? How do you want to be remembered? That kind of thing. But last week I was facilitating a conference, and I heard this wonderful quote from a wonderful speaker who said, "Legacy isn't what we leave behind; it's what we set in motion." And I just thought, wow, and it really made me pause and think. What are we setting in motion with our everyday lives? What am I setting in motion? One person's life may be short in the grand scheme of things. In Shakespeare's terms, they may be a brief candle. But what if it's not something that burns briefly? What if it's the spark that keeps lighting fires long after we've moved on? For me, I think, I work with people to help them become fearless about who they are, what they stand for, and what they want in the world. And I hope the work that we do together sets transformation in motion, which gives them the self-belief and the self-confidence and the tools and techniques which they then take out into the world. One of the things that really got me into this is that I saw too much talent going to waste because of those things, and the world was missing out as a result. So I feel like I can understand what I am setting in motion. But what about you? What about you? And if you're thinking about it, like, how do I know? Well, legacy is the project, might be the project that you begin that inspires other people to continue. It might be the person that you mentor who then goes on to mentor someone else. It might be the culture that you create in your team, the standards that you set, the behaviors that outlast your time there. People go on and take that with them. I think it's sort of like the moment that you decide to lead with courage, kindness, integrity, whatever values are important to you, even if it's not there, and show others that it is possible. So, I think you don't need a building named after you or a TED talk to leave a legacy. You just need to start something that's worth continuing. Or even better, recognize what you've already started that sets things in motion. In my work at Fast Track to Fearless, my brand, I talk a lot about impact. What impact are you making? What does your presence mean to other people? So it's not something that you achieve at the end of your career. It's something that you live every day. So, every conversation, every decision, every act of courage, is a seed that you plant, how you are. So today, if you fancy doing this, I invite you to ask yourself, number one, what am I setting in motion? What am I setting in motion? And number two is who or what will continue because of something that I have done today. Yeah. So what am I setting in motion, and who or what will continue because of something that I've set in motion today? Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think? I think that maybe is the real measure of legacy, is it? Not the monument, but the momentum. Let me know what you think. Take care. Bye.